You can only attract to you what vibrates in harmony with you.
Align your frequency and watch reality shift.
Vibrate so high that you get all your power back that's ever been taken from you.
I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating.
If I change my frequency, I change my life. Protect your frequency, protect your peace, and change your frequency, change your life, because the universe responds to vibration. It responds to not what you think you want, it responds to the vibration that you're on, okay? So if you're on the frequency of love, abundance, of forgiveness, of whatever it is, that's how you manifest. That's how the universe amplifies and magnifies and responds and gives you back what you put into it.
The bottom line is, if you broadcast what you desire and what you want on the right frequency band, in the right way, it will vibrate molecules in the physical universe and change the attraction of these molecules so that what you want starts to physically materialize. And the way it physically materializes is the universe creates circumstances, conditions, situations, events, and people that will all go together miraculously so that what you want happens and what you desire to attain actually materializes.
Vibrate so high that your energy naturally protects you. Vibrate so high that the right people come into your life based on the energy that you put out. Vibrate so high that you change your whole life experience. Vibrate so high that you walk in your purpose every single day. Vibrate so high that you connected to nature and everything natural out here. Vibrate so high that you got a deeper understanding of the system and you go right through it and you don't worry about nothing because you vibrate that high that they can't touch you.
Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. You see, everything is energy. Your thoughts have frequency. Your emotions transmit signals. The earth resonates at a specific vibration. And you are constantly tuning into these frequencies. That's why meditation changes you. It's not just relaxing. No, it literally shifts your brainwaves into higher frequencies where intuition, clarity, and healing happen. You are energy. Align your frequency and watch reality shift.
Nothing is more important than that you feel good. When you feel good, you're on a feel-good frequency, and absolutely everything you encounter in the day, all the people, all the circumstances, all the events will be feel-good. They will be things that make you feel even better, even better, even better, even better. When you're in joy, you will manifest so far. It's a really high frequency and you will manifest really, really quickly.
If you really are in the vibration of your passion, nothing negative actually can happen. If you move on the direction of your passion and something negative happens, it's not because your passion caused it, it's because you left the vibration of your passion because of your fear-based beliefs. So once you get back into the vibration of your passion, that will dissolve. It's just physics from Bashar's point of view. It's literally energy physics. Frequency, resonance, harmony.
You're living on frequencies. Now, when you think of something, what you've done is you've flipped your brain onto a higher frequency. The very fact you can see it is all the proof you need to know you could get it. What you have to do is raise your level of consciousness to that frequency. And then you will attract whatever's on that frequency. All the good you need to manifest the idea. Any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, so it could be bad or good, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. It starts to move into form.
If you're complaining more than you're talking about your vision, then you're in inertia. Energy goes into those lower frequencies, doubt, worry, fear, and now you're in that dynamic. But if you start talking about possibility, even if you don't know how to get there, then your energy starts to go up. You know, what if? You ask a what if question. What if all my needs were met? What would I be doing in my life? What if everything is really working together for my good? What if all the bad things that have happened in my life are leading me to activating some great potential in my experience? What if God really is on my side? Ask a what if question, and you start to notice little tiny miracles happening in your life. Things start to manifest. You don't know how they got there.
What you put out is what you get back. It's just like a reflection in the mirror. Physical reality is, in a sense, a mirror. And if you see in the mirror that your face is frowning, you don't go over to the mirror and try to make the reflection smile. The only way to make the reflection smile is for you to decide to smile first.
If you want to stay in a high vibration and a high frequency, only think about what you want, you feel me? Every second of every day, you should be thinking about what you want, not what you don't want, what you do want, you feel me? Pay more attention to the things that you want because your energy flows where attention goes, you feel me? If you want whatever it is you want, you should spend I'm saying like every fucking second reminding yourself this is what you want, this is what you are. Everything that you desire to be, everything you desire to acquire, you must remind yourself every second of every day. Don't let the world hinder your energy and like shift your energy. Whatever you want, that is what your focus must be on at every second of every day. Don't let your mind take the eyes off the prize, you feel me? Think about what you want 24/7 while not having so much of an emotional connection to it, and work as hard as you can towards it, and it will be yours in due time.
See, this thing you're living in, this thing we call a body, this is a mass of molecules in a very high speed of vibration. There's about 11 million kilowatt hours per pound potential energy locked up in the electrons in the atoms of your body. This thing is a mass of living energy. Your brain is an electronic switching station. And you know the thoughts you think dictate the vibration you're in. When you think negative thoughts, I don't care what it's about, you are putting yourself in a bad vibration. And when you get in a bad vibration, you know what you're going to attract? You're going to attract equal an amount of like energy. That's right. See, it's the vibration we're in that dictates what we do. It's the vibration we're in that dictates how we feel. Feeling is a word we invented to describe our conscious awareness of the vibration we're in. And it's our thoughts that control our vibration.
If I change my frequency, I change my life. If I protect my energy, I protect my peace. We have to be extremely mindful of our auric field, of the frequencies that we let around us, of the energies that we let around us. I am at the point where it is a bit of energetic cutthroat with me. And what I mean by that is I am vibrating at such a high frequency right now. That is a frequency of love, peace, abundance, prosperity, compassion, empathy. So if you are not on that same wavelength, if you're not on that same frequency, I cannot engage with you to a certain level. We can only interact on a surface level if we're not on that same frequency.
Vibrate so high that you get all your power back that's ever been taken from you. Vibrate so high that you become the glitch in the matrix. Vibrate so high that you understand the codes of the matrix and you use them for your benefit. Vibrate so high that any weapon formed against you shall never prosper. Vibrate so high that even if they did try it, it's only going to bounce off of you and go right back to them 10 times worse.
One of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite philosophers and authors by a man called James Allen, he said, the individual who cannot command themselves under the severest of stress is not fit to govern reality. And it's the truth, because until you can rise above the internal storm, the external storm is going to keep smacking you about, smacking you back and forth. And it's really important that you have the ability to exercise the understanding, because I want to emphasize this. Higher frequency doesn't mean that you're smiling all the time and it's just like you done crack. That's not what higher frequency means. Higher frequency is an elevated level of consciousness, a higher perspective.
Turns out if you can elevate your emotional state and you can sustain that emotional state, your body's so objective that it doesn't know the difference between the real life experience that's creating that emotion and that emotion that you're creating by thought alone. Your body's actually believing it's living in a new reality, a new environment. Now, the environment signals the gene. The end product of an experience in the environment is an emotion. That person is actually signaling genes ahead of the environment. Genes make proteins, and proteins are responsible for the structure and function of the body. The expression of proteins is the expression of life. Okay, every day the person practices going from the old self to the new self. This is what's happening in the world right now. As they start to change, and they start unfiring and unwiring, and they stop conditioning the body emotionally to the past, and practice this, they emerge as a new personality. They become somebody else. And like magic, the disease exists in the old person and there's somebody else. Now, here's where consciousness comes in.
People talk about the law of attraction. They don't understand there's a bigger law than the law of attraction. That's the law of vibration. And that's why I talk about the fact that we need to get ourselves to a high vibrational state, because people don't understand that the law of attraction is working 365 for everybody. It's not just the people that choose to believe in it. The law of attraction is working for everyone. We're all attracting, and that's what we think about. Our subconscious mind is a goal-striving, goal-getting machine that stops at nothing till it gets what our dominant thoughts focus on. We are driven towards our dominant thoughts. So that's why it's so important that first of all, we control the thoughts that are in our minds, and we make sure that they are positive as opposed to negative.
Distraction is everywhere. Most people follow it. That's why they stay average. Focus is rare. Guard it. Protect your attention.
We operate on a frequency. You do, I do. And what we're really attempting to do is raise the frequency that we're operating on. We want to operate on a higher frequency all the time. Well, this thing we're living in is a molecular structure in a very high speed of vibration. And the brain is an electronic switching station that alters the vibration we're in. Well, we operate on a frequency, and the only thing we can attract to us is that which is in resonance with us. So the reaction is actually attraction. It's like Emerson said, the law of cause and effect was the law of laws. Action, reaction is the law of cause and effect. Well, our thoughts, feelings, and actions we send off into the universe. It's a vibration. The universe sends it back. It responds in like manner. Well, the response of the universe is the attraction. You can only attract to you what vibrates in harmony with you. So if we see things coming into our life that we don't like, let's understand what we don't like is in harmony with something inside.
The universe will not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. If you emit a frequency of want, what you're telling the universe is that you lack something, and you're trying to chase it. If you have a clear intention and can see, smell, hear, and feel it as if it is happening now, you no longer need it. And that is when the universe will mirror your frequency. People often ask, how can I have a goal but also be content with everything I have? I ask them, when you put your destination into your GPS in the car, do you question whether you're going to get there? Or do you just accept that it's inevitable and only concentrate on the next turn? That is how manifestation works. Once you see it clearly and frequently, it's only a matter of when it will happen, not if it will happen.
There's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. Let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to it. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden a car cuts me off and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office and I'm telling all my colleagues, here's what happened, this knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife, but what am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating.
So you can tell that you're destined to be a winner or a loser simply by looking at what you think about in each coming event. And if you just make the decision right now to think about what you desire, ask yourself, am I thinking about what I want to happen, or am I thinking about what I'm afraid will happen? The key is this: repetition, visualization, relaxation, and clarity of your goal over and over again until they are accepted by the subconscious mind as fact, until they begin to become true in your reality. And if you stick with it, it will work for you. You can pretend and imagine that you've done this before. Pretend that you've already succeeded at this. Think about how you would act if you were a superb success in this area. Walk as though you were a success. In neurolinguistic programming, they find that there is a physiological state or way of walking, talking, and acting that is consistent with every emotional state.
When you don't expect anything to happen, that's when the unexpected happens. We discovered in our functional MRIs that when the person has the default mode network shut off, which means they're not trying to predict the future, they're not trying to anticipate anything, they're completely in the present moment. The correlation between the decrease in modulation, the decrease in compartmentalization, the more order in the brain, is directly correlated with a mystical experience. And the person who's having that mystical experience, their brain looks like they're on psilocybin. Now, they can't make their brain do that. Somehow, it's happening to them.
The more you raise your vibration, the more delusional you become, because you're going to start to realize that your imagination is the true reality. Now, here's an example on what I mean. Think about something that makes you happy, like your crush or having lots of money or whatever it may be, right? You get the thought, it makes you feel good. But then your focus shifts back to what is, right? What you see with your five senses, what you see, what you smell, right? And then you realize to yourself, like, damn, I don't have none of this that I'm thinking about that's making me happy. And you continue to focus on that, and it repeats the cycle over and over again. That's what you're going to get. That's why you stay in that want energy. So when you raise your frequency, you revert back to that state of being when you're having those thoughts that was making you happy, and you stay in there. And the reason why you become delusional is because like your reality will sometimes show you that it's not working, but it actually is. Stay tuned.
Let's talk about how to raise your vibrational frequency. Raising your vibration allows your manifestations to come into your life faster. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Be mindful of the music you listen to. Music directly impacts your energy. High vibrational music or frequencies like 528 Hertz can uplift your mood and align you with positive energy. Limit exposure to low vibrational music about heartbreak or negativity. Instead, choose songs or sounds that make you feel empowered. Connect with nature. Ground yourself by walking barefoot on grass or earth. Visualize energy from the earth flowing through your body, restoring balance. Spending time in nature, even a daily walk, can reduce stress and elevate your mood. Practice self-care. Taking care of your body and mind is essential. Drink water, move your body, eat nutritious foods, and spend time on activities that bring you joy. Self-care is an act of love that raises your vibration. Meditate and visualize. Daily meditations can help you detach from negativity and align with your goals. Visualize yourself in the quantum field, vibrating at the frequency of your desires. Protect your energy. Surround yourself with uplifting people and set boundaries with those who drain you.
Your ability to be calm will stabilize the new frequency and detach you from the old frequency. If you stick with me until the end of this video, I'm about to give you a life-changing lesson. So the new frequency is where all of your desires are found, which is the higher self. This is a place where all of your desires are fulfilled. The lower self is where your desires are unfulfilled, which is why people end up in states of wishing. So what happens is people feel like they are without. People feel like they don't have. With the higher self, people do believe that they have because it's a real experience. I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to materialize this so that it's a real experience for you. So what happens is when you're at the higher self level, you become magnetic because your frequency raises, because you're vibrating at a different level. This is how you become someone who's magnetic. And what happens here is that your state of consciousness increases, which makes you more aware. And because you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you become more aware of the things on the higher plane than on the lower plane. And what this does is it lets you rise above old patterns. So you no longer are a victim to past circumstances because you are on a different level now. And what this does is it creates the distance because you're going in a different direction. The lower self is going this way, whereas the higher self is going this way. The space in between is created by understanding everything I've just said. And when you're in that calm state, you're able to focus, therefore increase the vibration, therefore allowing you to vibrate at a higher frequency.
The fastest way to raise your frequency isn't meditation or manifestation, it's elimination. And I discovered this after trying every single practice you could possibly imagine. Most people have it completely backwards when it comes to raising their frequency. They think it's about adding more positive things to their lives. But here's what nobody talks about. High frequency isn't what you add, it's about what you remove from your life. Let me break this down. Think about the average person. They're overloading their brain with dopamine hits all day. Social media, processed foods, Netflix binges, alcohol. They're literally addicted to operating at a low frequency. I know this because I used to live like this all through my 20s. I was the guy consuming everything, chasing every quick hit of pleasure. But I discovered something wild. True power comes from controlling your inputs. Here's the reality. Your frequency is like a radio signal. When you clutter it with low vibe addictions, you can't tune into the higher stations. You're constantly stuck on the static station. The moment I started starving myself from these dopamine hits, that's when everything shifted. My mind got sharper. My energy exploded. I started attracting different opportunities and different people. Most people won't do this because they're comfortable being uncomfortable. They'd rather stay numb than face themselves without their crutches. But if you want to operate at the next level frequency, start looking at what you need to eliminate, not what you need to add. Because your power isn't what you consume. It's in what you control. This isn't some woo-woo spiritual thing. This is about mastering your mind. Because when you raise your frequency, you don't just change your vibe, you change your entire reality. The choice is yours. Keep drowning in dopamine and wondering why you're still stuck. Or start starving yourself from the low frequency addictions and watch how fast your life transforms.
Found this video? That means that success is right around the corner for you. You feel it too. I know you do. There's something in the air, something about it, I woke up this morning feeling just like really, really good, energetic, super confident in myself. I feel like I'm living on a different frequency. I'm can imagine myself in a life where I'm doing all the things that I want to do on a day-to-day basis. I'm not living by anyone else's rules or, their schedule. I'm on my time and my freedom, and that's such a powerful feeling to have and see for yourself, Once you get to that, then I think anything is totally achievable to have. And I want to keep riding this wave as long as possible. I want to feel like this every single day because I know the more I keep living in this frequency, and I know for a fact that things are coming my way that are good, positive, financial, and also spiritual too as well. We have to keep living in this frequency because I promise you, the more we stay in this mindset, we're going to achieve the success that we want to get.